Hello and welcome to the Destroy Humans 2020 remake playthrough. I'm your host, and today we're going to be tackling the first mission of the game, which is Destination Earth. As you can see it popping up there. Now this is the new menu for the 2020 remake, and I personally like it. It's alright. But Pox has something to say to us before we head out on this mission. So let's go and see him, shall we?
Welcome to my little laboratory. You may not have known this, but I flatter myself to be something of an inventor. In my spare time, I've been developing some truly impressive weapon and ability upgrades. I'd be happy to share them with you, if you've got something for me in trade. Say some of that delicious DNA you've collected.
So as Pox said there, we can get some upgrades for our weapons, our saucer. You name it, we can pretty much get upgrades for it. And there have been some new added things in the 2020 remake as opposed to the original. Like having about 6 upgrades per actual thing. By the way, here's the remastered, updated, whatever. I'm just going to choose a word that applies to this game and then use that. Remaster, remake, whatever. I'm just gonna say remake, alright? And I know it's not technically remade, but still. It's recreated. Whatever. But yeah, we can get upgrades for our weapons, abilities, and so on and so forth, and even for the saucer, which we're going to be using later on in this episode, so I hope you're looking forward to that. I'm going to shut up when the cutscenes happen, and then I'm going to be right back with you when they're not happening.
Orthobox to Cryptosporidium 137. Come in, Cryptosporidium.
Crypto here. How's the view from the safety of the mothership?
Very funny. Let's just say I'm glad I'm up here, and you're down there. Loathsome little planet. Now, Crypto, to ensure this invasion runs smoothly, it is imperative we identify the dominant life forms on this world. Those lactating bovoids are likely candidates.
Surely you don't mean those foul-smelling gas bags beyond the fence?
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
But they're covered in nipples.
Now, Cryptosporidium!
And we stepped in some cow shit. Marvellous. Anyway, welcome to Turnipseed Farm. Redone. Also, by the way, I am going to be talking up the gameplay. I'm sorry about that, but you can read it. I hope you can read it anyway, what's on the screen. And I'm going to do my best to sort of summarise what's being said. So we're just doing the basic controls. Now this whole mission is just a big tutorial showing us how to use our abilities. And, you know, if you played the original, you'll know what we can do, but we can scan the brains of lower life forms, of course. And also we can use our psychokinesis powers, which we'll get to do in a little bit. But Cortex Scan, it's pretty much the same as it was in the original. I mean, all you do now is press triangle, and there you go. So you can scan brains and hear what people are thinking. Oh, marvellous. If only you could do that in real life, right? Anyway, everything all looks very good. And cutscene in a moment.
They eat with their mouths? Ugh, I think I'm going to be violently ill. Attention, Earth creatures. This planet is now part of the Furon Empire. Your benevolent masters welcome you. At this time, we wish to abduct you for the purpose of scientific research. The procedure will be protracted and invasive. Do you have any objections? Earth creature, I am addressing you. Respond or be vaporized. I don't care how many stomachs you have. I don't have time for this.
Now we get to use our psychokinesis, which is... I'm going to talk about controls, maybe in a future episode, but all we have to do is press R1 and then, you know, hold it down and then release it to throw things when it turns red, like that, and then throw. Didn't really work that time, but there you go, see? So we can just kind of throw things around, as pretty much as we want to, you know. Pretty fun. Very nice to use all these abilities again, like we did in the first game.
Martha, you didn't tell me we was having barbecue for dinner? Wait a minute, that ain't steak, that's holy mother... Martha, give me the shotgun!
And now let's use our first weapon of the game, the Zap-O-Matic. And, you know, controls, it's R2 this time to actually fire. It used to be R1, but now it's R2, so, you know, that's pretty much in line with most games nowadays, and we can extract brain stems. By the way, when you are extracting, just mash square. Sorry, I can't do my SHs, but there you go.
Harold, come on back! You gotta see this! They got a talking horse on the TV! I ain't never seen nothing like... Ah! Little green spaceman! Ah!
I am not green.
Bloody hell, this tutorial is moving very quickly even for me, right. Shields work exactly the same as they did in the first game, you know. They take a while to recharge, and you can basically recharge them by getting out the firing line. Shields are very useful. We have upgrades for those, so, you know, it's very nice to have some more health, isn't it? Or stronger shields, rather. So, yes, as I said, this tutorial is moving pretty fast. That's because it's all pre-recorded footage and I did not anticipate how long it would take me to talk about these things. But, you know, every single cutscene in this game has been remade, recreated. And I think that's dedication. Now, granted, the audio is exactly the same as it was in the original game, but still. I mean, that's pretty impressive to just remake all of these things. Also, I didn't finish really with extraction. You mash square and then, you know, mash the square button and then the brain pops out. You can also just press it and it'll eventually do it, but it's much faster if you mash the button. And collecting brain stems gives us DNA.
Evening, Ms. Turnipseed. We got a call from Farmer Dixon over the other side of the state road. Said he heard some pretty strange noises coming from over this way.
Little green spaceman!
What
All
is
over the
that?
place.
A
He
new
got my
silo?
Harold, electrocuted him with a big old...
Crypto! That human law enforcement officer is attempting an unauthorized entry of your spacecraft. If those pea-brains were to get their hands on your quantum deconstructor, they could rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
And now we have to go and destroy some police officers. Like we did in the original, everything I'm gonna stop saying that in the original. I'm gonna stop saying that's how it was, because you pretty much expect that. But you know, there have been some improvements to this game, and I really do like the improvements that they've made. I do have some complaints though, which I will voice when I've got a little bit more room to speak. My main complaint is the controls, and it's the control scheme that's changed this time around. So, you used to have a very special set of controls. The original game had a definite set of controls to it, and I remember exactly what they are. However, if you are returning from one of the original Destroy Humans games, you will not find the same control layout here. Everything is different. You know, we've obviously just hopped into the saucer. You know, we've got our death ray and stuff. But yeah, the controls are different. Also, that is a handy thing. You know, you can fire your death ray downwards. You know, that's a lot nicer than having to back up and aim. That's pretty sweet. I like that. I think that's a neat feature. Nice little change.
Move out, man! Move! 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 I don't know, but I've been told.
I don't know, but I've been told.
Joe McCarthy's good as gold.
Joe McCarthy's good as gold.
Oh, great! The human military-industrial complex. We can't allow them to alert their leaders to our presence. Exterminate them! Now!
Open fire!
And this happened exactly as in the original. Anyway, basically, the controls, in my personal opinion, if you get used to them, you know, you'll get used to it. If you are a completely new player to the Destroy Humans franchise, you won't experience the same sort of problems I did. However, when I first started to play this, I realised that yes, they had indeed changed all the buttons. I think not even a single one is exactly the same as it was, except jump, like, just to jump and use your jetpack, that's it. Everything else has been changed. And I think that's fine. However, if you are going to come from the original game and play this, then watch out, because that will definitely catch you out. You'd think it was the same, but it's not. So I recommend that if you are going to play this game, come to it fresh. Don't expect the controls to be the same, because they just aren't. And it's a learning curve. It's not like it's impossible to get used to them. It's just that it took me a while. It took me about an hour to fully get used to them, just in free roam. So yeah, I don't really notice any differences to this original mission. The environment is a little bit outdated. It's a little bit different than it was before. The environments, I think, are slightly bigger this time around, just slightly. And there we go.
Did you see what I saw?
You bet your sweet ass I did. What did you see?
Little green man in a flying saucer wiping out the best infantry unit in the U.S. Army.
Right, good. Me too. Green? Not gray?
Don't be a stiff. You know what it means?
Absolutely. What?
It means the papers got it right for once. Get on the horn to Silhouette. We've got the worst case scenario.
The eggheads were actually onto something? I don't believe it.
Believe it. Roswell was only the beginning. The invasion is on.
Mission success. Fantastic. 80% complete. Well, that's because they have added in optional challenges you can do now to get bonus rewards and stuff like that. So this mission is 80% complete, and they do have a feature where you can replay all these missions. So if you don't get it right the first time, don't worry, you don't have to reset the game. Just go to the Holopox deck in the archives, and then you'll be able to replay all of these missions. Might probably going to be useful for Let's Players, I think, or people who want to complete this game 100%.
Now then, I know what you're thinking. What can I, a lowly novice, do to help bring about the destruction of Earth and the inevitable reign of the Furon Empire? Well, I'll tell you. It was in the earliest days of the Empire we realized our species was doomed. Eons of waging war on inferior races with unregulated atomic weaponry had mutated our genes. We could not propagate due to our complete and utter lack of genitalia. Fortunately, a Furon ship happened upon Earth on its way back from destroying the Martians. Human society was young and nubile. Sailors on a foreign planet, letting off steam, one thing led to another. Long story short, every human being alive today has buried deep in his genetic code a strand of Furon DNA. Over the eons, we've learned to clone ourselves, but with each iteration, the information degrades, and the results are increasingly unpredictable. The Furon genes in humanity's DNA are ancient, uncorrupted. They represent the future of the Furon race. If only we can get at them.
And after that massive exposition dump, which is exactly the same as it was from the first game, using the original audio, here we are at Epoxy's lab once again, and this time we are actually going to buy an upgrade. And I think the only one we can pretty much afford is that one. I think the Zapamatic is useful to upgrade at this point. Remember to upgrade your stuff, remember to extract brain stems, remember to get all that DNA. And then hopefully we'll be going through this game pretty okay. There's also other skins you can do, but I'll talk more about them when we get into another episode. So goodbye from me, and I'll see you in the next episode.